Alright, so, little heads up. This video is going to be, there's going to be two parts to it, right? First part is going to be me going through the cutscenes we got prior to Chapter 5, and then the second part is going to be me reading through all of Dante's notes we currently got. I wanted to wait till right before Chapter 5 to upload it, just to make sure we had all the notes and also had all the cutscenes so I could upload it in one video, because I'd prefer to do that over like 3 or 4 videos of it. So yeah, there should be timestamps in the description for which part is just the cutscenes and which parts is Sinclair, shut the hell up, and which part will be Dante's notes. So yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so your boy spent like 7 hours prior to this editing, so bit out of it, but there's a new Dante's notes cutscene, or like this is the round of cutscenes we're gonna get prior to Chapter 5, so let's get into it because I want to sleep. I desperately wish to sleep. I hereby confirm today's close of business for the sinners. Are we still on like the limb boat? Because like all I'm saying is that shit was the goat. See what I did? See what I... I'm sorry, man. I'm tired as fuck. Alright, let's get into it. Whether we're riding the bus through a forest or navigating the bus boat over a vast lake, our daily routine changes very little. I mean, yeah, most of y'all are just fucking freeloaders, like... you ain't gonna say otherwise. Charon's doing all the work. Thank you kindly. Starting now, you will all be given a maximum of 12 hours to partake in sleep and rest. The duration is subject to change. Have a good night. I'm wondering if they could just deadass like stay in those rooms in case of an emergency. Or at the very least have the creature in the back streets over there like take out any creatures that come aboard the boat. The usual hubbub followed by the usual leisurely idleness. I guess I'm not the only one to enjoy these normal, routine days. It wasn't by our choice, though. By now, I thought we'd be sailing vigorously across the waters. Vigorously. Yeah. Yeah, okay. If you think so. Y'all dead. Yeah, all of you are dead. Toward Lobotomy Corp branch located somewhere within U-Corp. But here we are, unable to leave the coastal side of the Great Lake, dawdling and twiddling... Damn, what the fuck? Well, it's not like there's been an accident. While Twas didn't elaborate, she explained that we had to wait for now. Did y'all have like a change of heart? Did y'all reach enlightenment and go like, damn, we do not have Uptight 10 unlocked. We're gonna get shitted on. If I were to hazard a guess, we were waiting here to complete some kind of an empty procedure like what we did at K-Corp. Either that, or we're waiting for someone, probably the before team, to get in touch with us. The before team gonna call like, yeah, y'all are dead as fuck. Y'all best be running now. Which brings us here, surrounded by nothing but endless water. The sinners chattered about inane subjects before complaining about this immense boredom. But deep down, we were all exhausted from the unending onslaught of physically and emotionally draining happenings. Deep down, we all knew these leisurely days would not last. So we each elected to enjoy this brief maritime respite in our own ways. Yeah, some people into that. Some people enjoy that. I would pray to God Yi Song's not that way. He already showed me his feet. Don't need to see much more of him. If thou needest mine insistence, as I have repeatedly made myself clear, I am quite alright. Thy countenance, returning the contents within thy stomach to the lake with such a vigor, saith otherwise. Except for Yi Sang, who had a surprisingly low tolerance for seasickness. This voyage was proving to be rather uneventful. Yi Sang, the day's over. You can go back to your room now. Oh, shall I finally be freed from this suffering? Seriously, I told you that you could rest in her room if you wanted. Our fellows must also have their share of suffering. I cannot, in good faith, seek comfort only for myself. You're the one with the biggest share of suffering right now. It's blue fucking skies, blue lakes, and beautiful birds out there, and you're just tainting the water with your vomit. Jesus Christ, he's like, get the fuck back inside. While I wish that he'd be more reasonable with himself, I could see where he was coming from. I thought better of it than to try and convince him otherwise. Instead, I chose to help Yi Sang to his room. I thank you, Dante. Then, until later. I waved at him and watched until he stumbled into his room and closed the door behind him. Then I shall seek myself respite as well, Manager Esquire. What the fuck did you do? What? Well, okay, no, it's because of the end of the shift. That's right, alright. Yeah, rest well. Don Quixote walked into the same door that Yi-sang had walked into. I could get a blurry glimpse into her room over her shoulder. I couldn't get a good look at it, but it was certainly not the same room Yi-sang had walked into. I see these doors every day, but I still don't get it. I should probably be used to this by now, but it's still pretty fascinating how the rooms change based on who opened the doors. I turned, leaving their— oh, okay, this is where shit's gonna get real. Leaving their shut door behind, ready to return to my room. A K-Corp door? Are we gonna fucking Hakma's floor? What? There's a door immediately to the right side of that. Bro, I swear to God, the translators of this game they must have written the thesaurus. What the fuck is a demarcation? I've never heard that word before. Of the corridor we're not allowed to cross. Within that door is a space somewhat different from the center's rooms. In there were the wooden door to my room. Which one of these is fucking wooden? And the metal door leading to the mirror dungeons. Damn. I'm just imagining. Dante wakes up, opens the door, Virgilius says, Dante, go to the mirror dungeon, Dante. Just fucking points Dante to the fucking door. The door is leading to the Luxcavation dungeons and the recently opened door to the refraction railway also coming to. This motherfucker can literally never escape it. The sufferings never end. No new doors yet. For no reason in particular, I creak those doors open and take a quick peek inside to see if anything changed. Well, based on that noise that fucking played prior, I would imagine so. Well, I've never actually managed to catch any changes myself, but who knows? Opens up one door. Ah! There's Z-Song doing 1,000 roll right there. Thank you, bug. Maybe I'll notice something worth keeping to myself. Which I should probably report to Faust. Something must have caught wind of my rather mischievous thought. And God fucking damn, wow, oh yeah, y'all, wow, ooh, we needed that. Oh, that was necessary. A near-splitting siren blade. Oh, we keep this going. Okay, yeah, okay. Blimey, what the hell is? Oh boy, this again. M.E. Kill the volume. Mute everything, I suppose? I spun around to face the other side of the corridor. The sinners, alarmed by the noise, were one by one peeking out of their rooms. They were used to the siren by now. Well, I'm fucking not, so I think we could stop it. But that didn't change the unpleasant fact that their sweet private hours were disturbed. Well met, Dante. Let us observe this disturbance together. Okay. I accompanied Faust to the helm. Thank the fucking heavens. Holy shit, this is why Faust is the GOAT. Okay, wait. So, he was checking out, or Dante was checking out doors. Then they didn't see any doors. Sirens blared, everyone wakes up, goes to check outside. Okay. I was wondering if Dante triggered the alarms via some of the bullshit they were doing, but no, it doesn't look like that's the case. She fiddled with a few buttons and shut off the alarm. Incomprehensible, complicated looking letters began to fill the round screen. Is that a new room? Even Faust needs a moment to decipher. Right. The siren always comes without warning. And with it appeared the mirror dungeons, the Luxcavation dungeons, and the... Oh, so that's like the prelude to some sufferings. Gotcha. I don't know if it's relevant, but I didn't see anything that would indicate activity when I checked the railway door earlier. It is unlikely that anything new would appear from that entrance. I find it difficult to believe that the next line would arrive so soon. Yeah, no, I checked the roadmap, homie. That shit far in the future, dog. When the glow of the door leading to line 2 has yet to go out. I guess you're right. Also, little side note, I honestly love how much they actually just put the gameplay shit into like canon story segments, or like, you know, canon story elements. Like, I know, that shit just really fucking cool. Because I just kind of mainly ignored the railway existing. I was like, that's some other shit. But nah, I mean, evidently it's canon. The first railway really took me by surprise when it arrived. Didn't take me by no fucking surprise. I checked the roadmap, goddammit. A new door had appeared before us, its edges shimmering with a blue glow, and when we entered it, a mysterious vehicle was just sitting there, waiting for us. Bro, why is the front of that fucking bus or train built like the motherfucker from Dead Space? Like, what? Its appearance somewhat resembled that of Mephistopheles, but it was also apparently, patently, I was working for 7 hours straight. Clearer than I'd never seen anything like it before. An odd feeling. I see that your first encounter with the train has left a strong impression, Dante. Well, I recall that you had a rather violent reaction when I entered the train to observe its interiors. Come on, I wasn't the only one that freaked out, everyone did. What if that thing left the station before the rest of us got on? Was what I wanted to say if Foss hadn't already turned around from the screen, to which her eyes had been metaphorically glued for a while, and walked away. This wasn't it then? No, this particular volatility is not something we could utilize. Right, I thought it was just an awkward time for a new door to appear. Too soon, too soon. I ain't fully know about that one, Chief. I would be down with a couple more doors if you catch my drift. The dungeons and the railways appeared at awkward times as well, Dante. I recommend that you refrain from setting it to a premature conclusion. A new variable may present itself at any moment. Shadow content? Project Moon just gonna like give us an extra little thing out of nowhere? I mean, I'd be down with that, honestly. I mean, hey. Moreover, if this volatility has triggered an alarm in Mephistopheles' engine, then it naturally follows that a new door has appeared at an indeterminate location down the corridor. This may reveal a space from which one can never return. It's best that we keep track of these incidents. Even Heathcliff won't do anything like that again. Probably. Bro, Heathcliff is like scarred to the bone. That man's outlook on life has changed after what was about to happen. Yo, he was about to get hit with that one scene from Scary Movie 2, dog. If you know the one I'm talking about, you know exactly what I'm talking about then. As per my last advice to you, a premature conclusion is... Regardless, no serious issues have been detected at this moment. It would be most apt that we enjoy our remaining rest period. Now, if you will excuse me, rest well, Dante. Damn, that shit was ear-piercing. With those as her parting words, Foss disappeared into her room in her usual manner. Left alone again, on this boat. I looked at the numerous letters displayed on the screen. Numbers, unintelligible letters, drawings and symbols depicting something. I had to shake my clock. I'm such a child to laugh at that. After staring at the dizzying sight for a while. I wonder if this is how Yi Song felt earlier. I'm starting to feel nauseous. I was barely able to hold back the vertigo from setting in. Time to saunter back to my room. Let's turn in early tonight. Huh. That shit was whack. Okay. I'm really intrigued. And just checking out what the fuck the other two are gonna be. Damn. Why is this shit taking forever to load though? Hey, there we go. But goddamn. Okay, that's part 1 about generally Imagine 3. So, I mean, shit. I suppose time to check out the other two when they get released. I don't know if I'm gonna upload this video on its own or wait till like there's more whatever available. But yeah, damn, that was interesting. Some whack shit is definitely gonna fucking transpire though, Jesus Christ. Another day, another prolonged and dreary period of waiting. Waiting and some more waiting for something to happen. Of course, our bus boat was still floating on the coastal Great Lake. Voices of discontent among these sinners started small, but they have been growing increasingly incessant as of late. I'm not terribly surprised. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Some of the sinners just be outright children. Maybe not in age, but most definitely in personality. Looking at you, Heathcliff. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, yeah, no, that is an ear-splitting siren. It's that alarm again, warning us of a volatility in Mephistopheles, but it was much louder, much more painful than the ones we've heard before. We're just gonna look at the window, the whale's gonna be like swallowing us, like, bitch, you remember that Pinocchio stage in Kingdom Hearts? It's like, no! And this time, it wasn't the only thing that assaulted our senses. Huh? We'd never had flashing lights like this before, right? Now what is it this time? How did you feed this bloody rickety bus? Ooh, this must be a signal that the long-awaited adventure is finally nigh. Is this what we've been waiting for this whole time? No. Virgilius frowned as though he sensed that something was off. He turned to Faust. It was one of those rare occasions when I could sense the slightest hint of confusion from him. Wee woo, Mephi's blaring and crying. Mephi's sick? What is this, Miss Faust? I wasn't informed about a siren like this before. First, a correction of falsehoods is in order. Nah, first we're turning it off. Like, bro, Mephistopheles is not bloody rickety, and eating is not part of its behaviors. Oh my god. It does make infrequent use of the Encephalon supply gear installed in the engine for fuel, but that is of no negative consequence. Even if it was, whatever issues that may arise can handily be repaired after a proper total disassembly. Homie, fucking the blaring siren. So what's this now? Sounds like the bus is about to explode. The label Mephistopheles is some bloody rickety bus completely disregards the amount of pain and effort Faust dedicated to designing it. Heathcliff, if you don't take it back, I don't think she's ever going to stop. Seriously? Yeah, Heath, take it back. The bus might actually blow up before she explains anything. I take back what I said earlier. I cannot comprehend why you attempted to take back your other abstract reference to this unknown concept that you supposedly mentioned earlier is hardly clarifying. Anyway, allow me to list the specifications of screws used in Mephistopheles' construction that makes this creation so impressive. First, fine, I take back what I said about the bus. It's not bloody rickety and it doesn't eat. I'm sorry, alright? The cabin briefly echoes with his cries. Then, a brief silence. The black silence? I think I saw Faust flash the briefest grin of satisfaction. Or you could see that smug ass face. Good. Is the clown show over? This juvenile, tedious exchange is testing my patience. Bruh, I was saying it earlier! They're literally children! All of them! Maybe not Meursault. Meursault's kind of a Chad, but aside from Meursault! Yeah, it's a bit different from the usual alarms. Don't think this one's a new door. It is quite simple. The night is here. Why is night capitalized? What do you mean? Yo, she actually just deadass, so what do you mean? Fuck, I forgot what sync meant. Sinclair? Talk or snap your neck. Thank you. Favorite pinball right there. Walpurgis Night is here. Oh yeah, makes sense. Yeah, no. The night is not here. That is very apparent, at least in this coastal area. The name does not refer to the time of day in which the sun moves beyond our line of sight. Then it appears to me that, by your designation, you are referring to a certain phenomenon. These songs seem to be doing a little better, now that the waves have died down somewhat. I am, indeed. I am certain that all of you are most familiar with the fact that extracting identities and ego from mirror worlds is one of the many functions of Mephistopheles' engine. But its reach is rather limited, even if, as it has expanded over our journey, we have yet to reach mirror worlds that are too far from our own. Is this the Gonabo's doing? I noticed that it was fishing at more and more new things the longer our journey went on. Bro, I really love their dedication to just explaining everything within lore terms for the game. I mean, that shit's godlike, and I kind of wish other games would do it, but at the same time, Arknights is literally just you bag motherfuckers and then just open them and then you take them. And then that shit's raw as hell, so they don't gotta explain that, but still, it's chill as hell. Broadly speaking, yes, you could say that. Dante and our Dante and our collective experiences gradually expand our range of extractions. Normally, extractions require a certain resource, but there were times when the identity cards appeared out of nowhere. Do you recall them? Dante. Yeah, some of them just randomly popped up out of the engine. Oh, wait. Slow down. The hell's an identity card? Oh, you still don't know? I'm jealous of you, Heathcliff. You have a talent for ignoring anything you don't care about. Yeah, Honglu is definitely feigning being an idiot. Like, oh my god, Honglu is definitely feigning ignorance all the time. That motherfucker is a savage. You're looking to get your head smashed in or what? Right, knock it off, you guys. Guide Bud's giving us the evil eye. They're, the things manager Bud pulls out of the engine from time to time. These little rectangular objects with our alternative world. Wait, was it mirror worlds? Anyway, it's these things with depictions of our other selves on them. Yes, the things that look like mahjong tiles. That, I mean, I suppose. I thought they looked a bit like wafers. That is even stupider. I believe their denomination comes from their appearance as cards that contain identities. Nah, there's no way whatsoever. You fucking shut up. Thus, it naturally follows that they are named identity cards. So we're using those rectangular toys to transform into our alternate selves. I never used them before. That's because I'm the one using them. On the device issued to Dante are indentations through which identity cards and egos can be inserted. They are reflected when we partake in a battle. Oh, so that's what they were fidgeting with before every fight? I could tell from his flabbergasted expression that none of it had ever even occurred to Heathcliff. I don't know why I'm stuttering so much today, your boy's out of it. I'm just waiting to roll on that limited banner, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. On the other hand, Don Quixote wore a somewhat forlorn expression. What's wrong, Don Quixote? Well, is this not about the time when Ishmael would intrude upon this conversation and announce Heathcliff with biting words such as, "You still didn't know? That's just like you. This emptiness weighs heavily upon mine heart." Don Deadass was like, damn. For once, Ishmael isn't being a bitch. Yo, what the fuck? This shit is off. Oh, you're right. Something was missing from this whole convo. I knew it. You're right, daft bastards. Enough. We're not getting this information we need. Miss Faust, please explain the present situation. What are these green lights? Understood. If we take into account the case of identity cards Dante received without spending any lunacy, we can draw a conclusion that the Mephistopheles extraction has an element of unpredictability tied to its uncertainty. The hell is she blathering about now? Yeah, this item is of your design. To say that it has an element of unpredictability would indicate that. Correct. And can fill and fuse the engine, yes. However, extractions and reconstitutions utilize chaos. Well, in easier terms, you could say that it uses the concept of possibilities itself as fuel. Dog, I've never felt like the Faust nerd emoji so much as this current point. But dog, I'm fully feeling that shit. Our extraction range grows when we are able to clearly observe specific possibilities in the infinitely branching mirror worlds. During this period, however, the borders between the mirror realities are entirely shattered. Using the present as our anchoring point, it could be said that our current extraction range is approximately 3 years to the past or the future. During Walpurgis Night, however, that range grows to about 10 years or even more. In that case, thou meanest to say that identities of prominent fixers from times past may grace us with? Theoretically speaking, yes, but each Walpurgis Night has its own peculiarities. It will not let us reach into all potential possibilities. Then does that mean we also may be available at our alternate selves as the legendary fixer, the arch magnificence, the one and only Red Mist? Yo, that's what everyone was fucking thinking when this shit was announced. I won't even cap. That is extremely unlikely, but I will not completely dismiss the possibility. Give it to Ryoshu. The extended range, I suppose, could be defined by words affected by entities that were indispensable to the formation of this current state of the world. What the fuck does that mean? An example of that would be the Lobotomy Corporation headquarters prior to White Nights and Dark Days incident. In some ways, your worlds sometimes find a roundabout way to the truth, Don Quixote. Virgilius is like, not that red motherfucker. Oh my fucking god, I hate that bitch. He's like this red ass motherfucker. Don't even get me started on the Black Silence either. The Vermilion Cross, that bitch was carried, bro. He did not deserve that title. I don't know who this Red Mist was, nor did I know what White Nights and Dark Days was. Damn, you have amnesia like a motherfucker. But I could hazard a guess that they both must have been pretty significant, considering that Virgilius' face grew visibly tense as soon as they were mentioned. Yeah, I mean, the White Nights and Dark Days would relate to the library, which then would relate to Tomari killing the orphanage, so that would explain his expression. And also the Purple Tear's connection to it. The sinners were unsettled, too. We can conclude that this siren is no cause for any immediate concern, then. No, it isn't. Consider it a festival that arrives once in a while, for now. Festival, festive times. Terran is festive too. I don't know if I got all that, but this isn't what we've been waiting for, is it? Or isn't this what we've been waiting for? No, we will continue to wait. Well, the sinner sighed and groaned with disappointment as the newfound anticipation fizzled. Well, something did happen, but it wasn't something that would get us moving. I can see what a disappointment this might be to them. So, how do we stop that green light from flashing? It will turn itself off when Dante extracts something from the engine. Do not worry. Right, back to business. Dante, extract something to turn that alarm off. Bro, they're forcing the gotcha upon me. Granted, it doesn't change anything. I was still gonna do it regardless, but they're forcing it upon me. What? Sinclair translate. We'll just be running more dungeons through the back door with whatever new thing they pull anyway. Still, this leisureliness is a very rare opportunity, isn't it? Y'all motherfuckers have been leisure for a minute on the Great Lake. All I'm saying is this shit... Yo, this Great Lake seems more like a bitch-ass lake. All I'm saying is we haven't seen anyone get their asses beat yet, so... throwing that one out there. Blessed be the patient ones, or so it is said. Every sinner says their piece before returning to their seats. Some of them walk into the cabin to gaze at the lake. It's something they must be growing a tad tired of doing at this point. Maybe they're just going out for a long sigh. Ishmael is sharpening her harpoon in the back and going like, we're all gonna die, we're all gonna die, we're all gonna die. And Wheatus walked up to me. Are you not worried, executive manager? Huh? About what that mad scientist said, for now. There has to be more to that statement. Should I investigate this matter further? Wheatus was right. While Foss did tell us to consider this nothing more than a festival that arrives once in a while, she definitely knew more than she was letting on. But if Foss speaks of something in her characteristically cryptic manner, it means that she'll never tell us what she wants to. Well, it does bother me a little, but right now, we don't have a lot of options. Let's just put a pin in it for now. Wheatus nodded affirmatively, bowed, and returned to her seat. Well, let's get extracting like Fawcett. All I'm saying is that was dead ass some Judas shit right there. Like, oh, should I mark out Jesus for you? Should I spill the salt? That's all I'm saying. I ain't talking mad shit, but I'm talking understandable shit. I'm gonna just say that much. Alright, Mephistopheles. It's our mobile office, our home, and our vehicle. The Cinders and I eat, sleep, go to work, and fight here. It looks like a mix of a train and a bus, but everyone calls it a bus for some reason. I guess it makes sense considering our department's name. Apparently it's powered by an engine that Foss designed. Everything special about Mephistopheles comes from its engine. Not only does it power the vehicle so that the bus can drive us to places, but it also lets us extract identities from other worlds. We can also enter break rooms or training rooms via its back door, all thanks to the engine. It seems that Mephistopheles can be upgraded and fitted with additional functions. I think one of the sinners said it's like the bus itself is growing or something. I don't know who said it though. Luxcavation Dungeons. One of the dungeon types we can enter via the back door. Once we enter, there's a training ticket Luxcavation Dungeon to the left and the thread Luxcavation Dungeon to the right. It looks like we can gather resources to strengthen the sinners by battling abnormalities or enemies we've faced in the past. We have to spend Enkefel to enter these since they also require Mephistopheles' engine to operate. Mirror Dungeons. They are dungeons we can access via the back door. The corridor that leads to the Mirror Dungeon is made of cold, heavy metal. You know what? That's incredibly fitting, you know? Because cold, heavy metal, that shit reminds me of torture, and the Mirror Dungeons reminds me of the same thing. It inspires a different kind of anxiety from our usual wooden doors and corridors. At first, there was just a single door leading to a Mirror Dungeon while the others were shut. A second door opened at some point though, so now we've got two. Considering that Foss let us know when the doors would open, I'm gonna guess that there are specific conditions for them to open. Or maybe they follow a certain schedule. Project Moon is like, yeah, they follow a schedule. Yeah, whenever the community be acting a bit too tough. Whenever y'all be saying this game easy, that's when the third one's gonna open up. Whenever I enter a Mirror Dungeon, I emerge to a place resembling a misty cosmos. I can choose which center to bring with me into each of the Mirror Dungeons. According to Foss, Mephistopheles' engine actively stabilizes the Mirror Dungeons we're allowed to enter via the back door. Their ultimate purpose seems to be to improve mine and the Sinners' capabilities. Mine? How are they improving Dante's stability? Oh, I suppose they're making Dante like used to trauma because, you know, release Mirror Dungeon 2 hard mode? Yeah, that was a lot of trauma there. So yeah, it makes sense. Foss recommended that we make frequent visits to the Mirror Dungeons of the back door. even if it meant expending Enkefel and use for the engine. Refraction Railway Line 1. Though it's closed now, we've been to this station before. The whole place had a bluish tint to it. We encountered and fought some familiar faces, but many of the abnormalities in there were entities we hadn't encountered in the Lobotomy Corporate branches so far. I recall that we've interacted with some of these abnormalities before in the Mirror Dungeons. Voss says that our interactions with them in the Mirror Dungeons were through some kind of spaces. Their mental spaces and worlds, that is. Damn, wow, that actually makes me feel bad as fuck for some of these abnormalities. Bro, you go to like some hellscapes for them, goddamn. I guess the railway happened to stop by one of those worlds. Then maybe it's not a simulation. I don't know. Refraction Railway Line 2. This place has a greenish tint, unlike Line 1 with its blue hue. I bet the next one will be a different color, and so on and so forth. Excellent observation skills, Dante. That, man, you're the smartest kid on the playground after that one. Again, we fought some more abnormalities we'd only had glimpses of before. Everyone cheered when they saw that Line 2 had way fewer stations than Line 1 did. Until Yi Sang noticed some symbols on the wall and theorized that we were supposed to run this line multiple times. And I fucking love this game. A new station was added with each cycle, though we still had to go through the earliest stations first. Around the time we were on our 4th cycle, Heathcliff began loudly complaining that he was tired of doing the same thing over and over and over again. Bro, I'm telling y'all, Heathcliff is my spirit animal. If only I actually gave a damn about Ishmael. No, I'm just playing. But Heathcliff is straight up my fucking spirit animal, goddamn. Some sinners seem to grow increasingly restless as well. Okay, let's... Ishmael. Who else? Definitely not Merson. He'll take that shit like a champ, guaranteed. And not Foss. She would say some shit. She would just say some shit like, this is a part of my calculations. Wheatus. Yeah, Wheatus would. Definitely. But the crisis was averted thanks to Yi Sang, who said that the signs seemed to say that the 5th cycle was the last one they had to complete. Once we wrapped up our 5th cycle, we were able to find a large hoard of various resources from the Lost and Found. From what I can tell, each line's going to have different routes and conditions to complete them. Yeah, hopefully the next one has less fights. Refraction Railways. A place we could access using the back door. Gregor tells me that it looks a lot like the city's subway stations. It looks pretty dilapidated, as though it's been here for a long time. There's what appears to be a subway train on the rails. The subway train kind of resembles our Mephistopheles, except it looks like it's been left to rot for a long time. The subway train didn't budge with just one sinner inside it. When the other sinners joined, however, the door closed all on its own and began taking us somewhere. The sinners told me that it took us to the next stop. From what I could tell from my experience here so far is that each station led to a different environment, some of which were places we've been to in the past. The door closes behind us once... Wait, pause. Pause. What the fuck is making the doors? God? Like, I just thought about... Who's the one giving us the doors? The head? I fucking doubt that. I mean, they don't have no reason to, but... Then an abnormality or some enemies attack us with no rhyme or reason, leading to immediate... Like... It has to be a singularity. I mean, I suppose the sinners have doors that are optimal towards them, so that's probably a singularity there. Well, it's definitely a singularity there. And then maybe from there, Limbus Company set up doors that would give them hard challenges to then level up and then collect golden bars in more difficult locations, I would imagine. Once the fight's over, the subway train doors open again, and once we're all aboard, it takes us to the next stop. Rinse and repeat until we reach the terminus. Boss tells me that they appear to be like simulations or a series of locations generated in order to improve our capabilities akin to the functions of Mirror Dungeons or the Luxcavation Dungeons from the back door. That makes sense. We encountered enemies like in there, but all they did was fight us. Maybe they're also just simulations after all. Not sure if it's putting us through a very realistic simulation or if it's actually taking us to where the abnormalities reside. I still don't know. Enough about this place to say for sure. Once we made it to the end of the subway route, we were allowed to return to the bus via one of the stations. One of the signers was furious, complaining that it sent us on a wild goose chase for Heathcliff, until he saw Foss popping open the Lost and Found box and picking up a whole horde of resources. Understandable. The back door. A door on the back end of Mephistopheles. The name? It makes sense now. Yeah. I don't know what genius cooked that one up, but must have taken a fucking modern day Einstein. Past it is a corridor full of doors connected to each of the center's private lodgings or break rooms. The centers tell me that each room has unique looks and different interior designs. Fox explained that they may be reflections of each center's personal psyche or memories. There are more people on the bus than the number of doors we actually use, but the ones we do use can lead to different spaces depending on who opens them first. Two centers can enter the same door, only to end up in a different room, for example. The doors are labeled with, actually thinking about it, that's some dead-ass like Scooby-Doo shit. Like, you know the fucking Scooby-Doo scenes where they're in like a hallway with all the fucking doors? That's literally just Mephistopheles. Oh my god. We got Toon Force on this bitch. The doors are labeled with names denoting whose room they lead to. There are also doors that just lead to the other side of the walls they're on. It's whack when you actually have to state that as something out of the ordinary. The door to my room opens to a corridor leading to the Mirror Dungeons and the Luxcavation Dungeons. I can see that the corridor past the back door extends beyond the area we use, but somebody put a sign there warning us not to trespass. So naturally, we trespassed. We almost had a huge accident when Heathcliff tried to go past the threshold in spite of the warnings. Something tells me that there are dangerous things or territories in the deeper parts of the corridor. Heathcliff's panicked face is still fresh in my memory, and Foss' uncharacteristic urgency too. Ryoshi calls this endless space the corridor. I can tell that she's not talking about just any corridor, but what else could she possibly be talking about? Homie, I don't fucking know. The only thoughts I really have when it comes to Ryoshi was two things. A, nothing there. I ain't talking about the abnormality. And B, what do you call it? There's a theory that, like, could be Gabriel's daughter. I didn't look into that one that much, but the general idea is, like, an intriguing one. Alright, damn, that's a lot of records right there. I don't know why record 5 isn't... Like, I haven't clicked on that one. Oh, because it's already open, that's why. Alright. What are we on? K-Corp. Record 3. I didn't quite understand why they were flying a bunch of drones around the city, filming scenes of death and pain, but looks like there was a reason for all that. I learned some things about K-Corp's nest while carrying out the request, but I'm not sure if it's okay for me to leave a record of them. Okay, smart. Okay, below are some information that I'm not supposed to write down, but I wanted to record it anyway. Here goes nothing. Who knows, one day even I might end up forgetting everything. That's definitely a reason, bro. You write that shit in like your own personal fucking notepad then. Like, this shit seems readily accessible. We have it digitally. That shit means you could get it anywhere realistically. They explain that HP ampules were actually infinitesimally tiny nanobots helping regenerate the body. Apparently they were so small that a collection of them just happened to look like some green fluid. But none of that was true. They weren't actually even remotely close to nanobots. The ampules were just filled with some green fluid. K-Corp's HP bullets, known as regeneration ampules, aren't like ointments. It returns the body of the person injected with it to a form they remember as being unhurt. Okay, well, yeah, no, that makes sense. Huh. Stephanet, K-Corp's founder, went to the outreaches of the outskirts and brought back this organism they call the Tearful Thing, from which they extract the fluid. I think that Tearful Thing was once a human. Yeah, true, yeah. From what I've seen through resonating with the Golden Bow. Yeah, it was a human, right? It's been a minute since chapter 4, but I'm pretty sure it was a human, had a wish. It's Project Moon, so the wish naturally got fucking twisted into creating him to be some disgusting ass thing. It seems their wish was that no one would ever suffer from pain again, and that wish was granted. In some form, anyway. Theoretically speaking, its tears can heal literally any part of a body as long as its brain is intact. Just like its name, the Tearful Thing sheds tears when it feels sorrow, and by processing or watering down its tears are the ampules, K-Corp's singularity, made. At first, the founder Stephanet drew its tears by sharing sad or emotional stories. But when she passed away, K-Corp said, "Fuck that weak shit." Those who seized power afterwards buried it in a constant stream of violent, shocking imageries to produce its tears more efficiently. That's why the drones were filming people's deaths, so that they could force the Tearful Thing to watch those violent and shocking tragedies. Looks like making it watch the same tragedy over and over isn't as efficient. They have to keep feeding it new, different scenes of violence. That's why they're importing similar footage from the other nests. They were planning to use the glass window text similar to the mirror to give it a constant supply of footage, but our involvement seems to have thwarted that. Considering that the Tearful Thing is, after all, an organism, it also seems to be capable of producing offsprings. Alfonso called the one we saw a child entity. I don't know how, but if I were to hazard a guess, I'd say that they're trying to improve their production rates by using the tear for things oh. Wait, okay. By using the tear for things children. So that can mean two things though, thinking on it. That can mean one, using the children, have more force, therefore more tears, right? But the other one is, torture the children, show the parent that footage. Because that would be the most efficient route to tears. And it's Project Moon, so they're doing both. They are using they're torturing the things to make tears, and then they're probably taking video of those things being tortured and then giving it to the parent. Main question I have though is, who the fuck breeded with it? It looks like a ball sack. How do they breach the wall? You know what I'm saying? I'm only a little curious, but I wonder what would happen if a prosthetics user were to be injected with a K-Corp ampule. Maybe Dante could get their head back. We learned everything about their singularity, from its origin to its production methods, but after they put us through the memory wipe procedure, I'm the only one who remembers it. I decided to lay low and pretend that the procedure worked. Even with my limited knowledge of the city, I felt like this information was probably pretty important. Yeah, they would have fucking murdered you if they found out. You were gonna be dead as shit. I usually don't show these notes to the senders anyway, but I'll have to be extra careful about it from now on. Alright. Ooh, Lobotomy Corporation, okay. That one I read in the past because it's 428, so you're the actual new one. Looks like they left some of the ego equipment the Lobotomy Corp branches once used to manage their abnormalities. I think there are some conditions and risks using those ego equipment like the weapons or the armor. Makes sense, since they're extracted from the abnormalities that Lobotomy Corp used to manage. They also seem to affect the user's mood or speech patterns. Considering that they're made from abnormalities, they might pose a problem during our future visits to the Lobotomy Corp branches. R-Corp, located in District 18's Nest. From what I've heard about R-Corp from its related centers, it seems a little different from the other wings I know so far. While most wings provide many a convenience by utilizing their singularities to improve people's quality of life, that's a way to say they're just getting fucking money. I don't think they give a damn about quality of life. R-Corp mainly deals in armed services like mercenaries. R-Corp's power as a wing comes from the quality of its military services. Wheat has added that as important as a true size is, much of its strength in battle will come from field experience and mental fortitude. In that sense, thinking on it. Of course, Wheatus's old ass would know about fucking field experience, bro. Motherfucker has a lot in that category. In that sense, she says R-Corp's combatants, soldiers, employees are like killing machines with undaunted spirits on top of being in great health. Gregor said it's common for ordinary soldiers to lose their will to fight and then flee the battlefield or fall into panic. He would know a lot about that shit too, and those who don't are the exceptions. If R-Corp runs war games and simulation, I wonder if R-Corp runs war games or in simulations or something. They run like IRL Fortnite tournaments. Last about a week. Hearing what R-Corp's identities have to say, the wing has a team called the Fourth Pack, with 3 subsidiaries, rabbits, reindeer, and rhinos. Yeah, that's Fourth Pack, yeah. Because I was wondering where the ravens fit in, because they are... I'm pretty sure the ravens are canon. Whenever I think of the ravens, I think back to the Library of Renamont. But I'm pretty sure the concept of them was canon. Maybe, it's been a little while. The rabbits are well-rounders deployed with a wide range of missions. The reindeers have surgically gained antlers that convert mental strength into physical force. While I haven't met the rhinos yet, I'm told their speciality is wrecking havoc. Alright, T-Corp. Located in District 20's Nest. Looks like they specialize in using temporal technology. What the fuck is that? I've only experienced T-Corp through resonating with the Golden Bows. I've never actually been to T-Corp. Fucking thankfully. So I'm not sure how true to life that experience was. They seem to value technology and inventions. The whole nest is literally monochromatic. I think having any color is a privilege permitted only to those with power. Black fumes constantly spewing out of numerous buildings have darkened the skies. Thinking on it though? Why did somebody just honk a loud ass horn? Bro, it's like 11 PM. But thinking on it, when it comes to that whole like monochromatic shit, I'm pretty sure Malkuth said that shit all the way back in Lobotomy Corporation. which is kind of insane how they just kept with that shit, like, through all this time. Alright, U-Corp, located in District 21's nest. They use a singularity called the Resonance Tuning Fork. It can meld together two items of entirely different nature into one, as though they've always been a part of each other. Somehow, the power of the Resonance Tuning Fork melded guns and monstrous crabs called trash crabs together. They could use those melded firearms as though they were naturally born with them. U-Corp is scattered across the Great Lake, with most of its major institutions located on its surface, which means that we're all in dire need of a ship if we want to go anywhere in U-Corp. So we got Mephistopheles modified into a ship using the Resonance Tuning Fork. Seems to me that it overlaps with this other region called the Outskirts. Ew. Well, no, U-Corp overlaps with the Outskirts. Yeah. Not the... Well, I mean, I suppose maybe you could say the Great Lake overlaps with the Outskirts, because I don't believe it's considered to be a part of the, the city. At least not all of it. I don't fucking know. But anyway, I do want to see these motherfuckers go to the Outskirts in the future. Maybe come across like the old lab. I don't fucking know. W-Corp, located in District 23's nest. I haven't visited their place yet, but I learned a thing or two about it from conversations with the identities from this wing. W-Corp seems to be operating a transit service advertised as warp trains that take passengers from platform to platform in mere seconds. Tickets for warp trains are apparently pretty costly, and I'm told the first class ones are plain ridiculous. Shouldn't you just cut costs and drive at that point? Only you have no idea. Writing down additional details I've heard. While cars can take you anywhere, warp trains are preferred because travel by car can get incredibly complicated. Yeah, makes sense, yeah. Considering the procedures we went through just to get into K-Corp's nest. Speaking more, it seems the biggest problem is the roads are made inefficiently. They're so twisted and convoluted that it takes an unreasonable amount of time to travel between backstreet. Yo, I feel as though I've read this shit before. I'm a pray to God I haven't, cause it shouldn't be new. Yeah, fuck it. Even if linear distance is short, the road to the destination will be labyrinthine. Purposely, there are wide open roads called highways connected to nests, but that comes with a set of conditions and costs as well. Learned a shocking fact while talking with sinners done up in W-Corp's identities. Though they didn't tell me directly, it seems that the trips on warp trains, which take no more than a few minutes from an outsider's perspective, make their passengers perceive a terribly long amount of time, dissolving their sanity and deforming them beyond recognition. Well, the deforming's a choice. Sanity, they don't got a choice. Deforming kinda depends on the people because, once Roland basically led a fucking, a task force against W-Corp. Well, maybe it was Roland. It looked to be like one of the Black Silences or possibly one of the Black Silences, but yeah. Then it's a job of the cleanup agents to physically sort out the mess every time. Thank goodness we have a bus. This is all speculation based on conversations with the identities, so I'm planning to keep this information to myself. Best you do, because they will murder you. they will kill you. Offices. I knew it. The associations aren't the only kind of organizations a fixer might work for. Some of them also work for offices. They all seem to specialize in different things, just like the fixers themselves. Deviat Association. Devat Associate. Yeah, butchered that shit. Okay, they seem to specialize in delivery and transportation. The city is full of dangers around every corner, so it's extremely difficult to deliver important items or information to the intended recipients on time without losing it in the process. Esong told me that, while the city may appear minuscule in the bird's eye view, of course this motherfucker said that shit, that the map avails an approach that contemplates its surface area and not what a single surface of it shows a world vastly different. The city is tight with brimming buildings in both heaven and earth. Their labyrinthine construction and these singularities paint a picture hidden a forest screen. And then I asked Esong, why the fuck did you say all that shit? I wasn't sure what he was talking about, so I just nodded along. DSC. Dicey. I'm about to get roasted for how I'm mispronouncing this shit, but the fucking Carumba Association. They seem to specialize in the collection and research of knowledge. They say the association members use equipment that draws physical strength from knowledge. That's the most nerdy fucking shit ever. What? I didn't know they fucking rolled like that. Oh my god, they just walking fucking nerd emojis. The harder to obtain and more precious the knowledge is, the greater the strength it grants its users. Looks like they lose the knowledge They're not, never mind. They're not nerds, they're the complete opposite. They're fucking muscleheads. Bro, they literally walk into a library, go like, I don't know how to read this book, but I know it could help me beat some ass, bro. And then just take that shit like a fucking steroid. Looks like they've got fixers who could fight with their fists and fixers who fight with their keys? What? 7 Association. They seem to specialize in collecting intelligence. Intelligence, knowledge. I thought they'd be pretty similar to the... Bro, why you gotta face me with these challenges again? Dicey Association. That's probably not how you... But one of the identities explained their differences to me. While the Scepter Association specializes in using whatever means to collect intelligence that they have been contracted to find, Dicey Association specializes in making this found knowledge their own by analyzing and deconstructing them. Still, I believe they have a lot of overlap given these similar specializations. Workshops. They specialize in building and modifying gears used by the Fixers. Technically, they go under the same umbrella as the offices, unlike the Fixer offices with various specializations, though people refer to these specifically as workshops. Primarily, they craft and sell weapons, armor, and other tools that Fixers use. Sometimes they're contracted to build custom gear as well, at least that's the impression I got. Considering they're also run by Fixers, workshops don't shy away from taking contracts involving combat if they have to, like the Rose Planner workshop did, for example. Identity Uptime, a process of synchronizing an identity with this world using the thread we've gathered. It's how one brought from a different world is tuned to the center in ours. I guess it could be likened to binding the two worlds together? From what I could tell, a freshly extracted identity can't immediately transfer all their knowledge and combat prowess to the center. That's why thread must be used to uptie the identity and make it more effective. I asked if the max uptie status as shown on the PD... Hold up, no, I did read this shit. What? It said new, but I did read that shit. I fucking remember that. You're probably new one though. I asked if events different from our timeline happen in the worlds from where the identities were extracted as time passes. I've been told that we can't know for sure that it doesn't matter anyway. Limbus Company is only interested in enhancing these centers' capabilities in battle, so they don't care about what happens with the identity or its world as we uptie them. Okay. Well, that's something we just got. Fuck the multiverse. No wonder Damien was a little pissed off with us. Memory wipe procedure. That shit did not work on me, the first note you see from Dante. A technology used to wipe specific memories. I recall that we took turns entering some room. The procedure ended when these sinners walked out with all the relevant memories wiped. Odd. I remember everything that K-Corp wanted me to forget, but that room, I can't remember a thing about the memory wipe procedure itself. Huh. That leaves me with so many questions. Why didn't the procedure work on me? If it didn't work, why can't I remember anything about the memory wipe procedure itself? I would imagine one of two things. Either they wanted Dante to remember that shit, which I don't know why they would want Dante to remember that shit, but that's one. And the other I'm thinking could possibly be some shit where it's like, if you have the memory formed, then, or if Dante had the memory formed, like of everything with the eye and all that shit, then they couldn't wipe it for whatever reason. But maybe in that room, they had that shit like on lock immediately. Like they will not allow you to form the memory of that room. Like just have you walk in and you're like a fucking lobotomized person, you know? Maybe, but like the first idea is more interesting though. Like if they wanted Dante to remember that shit. I don't fucking know why, but it would be interesting. Thread spinning. While the thread's role in uptying is to connect people between worlds, it seems to work like a wire to unravel the core of the abnormality in thread spinning. Voss said that we might be able to thread spin egos beyond what we're currently capable of in the future. Similar to upgrading and uptying identities, gathering gun and bows should allow us to decipher and interpret them in further detail. Damn. So uptie 5, that's gonna be a thing, huh? Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Upgrade identities. I asked if it is impossible to upgrade identities beyond their current maximum level of 30 as of writing, as shown on the PD8. It said this shit was new. I'll go with this. These values seem to be related to the golden bows we're collecting. In addition, I was told that I'd be unable to withstand further upgrades for now. The Dennis just told Dante, "You ain't that guy, pal. You ain't that guy, pal." Does that mean it will be possible to upgrade them more at a later point? Come to think of it, if these level ups are only for making their physical body stronger, then why are these things called training tickets? I thought that was covered by upties. The outskirts. Looking at the map, there is a zone outside the general area where the nests are. That zone's called the outskirts. There are monsters at the outskirts. Ishmael and Wheatus are the monsters. I'm sorry. If there was a period there, that shit would have been fucking hilarious. They're called the monsters and not abnormalities. Considering that they've encountered abnormalities before, I'm going to guess that there are monstrous things out there that aren't abnormalities. Now, see, there were monsters out there. And then the Lobotomy Corporation was like, hey yo, what if we one-up them? That shit would be nice. And then they one-up them. Well, it's not like we'll ever have to visit the outskirts. I doubt even Lobotomy Corporation would build a branch outside the city. I just remembered that Ishmael said that the Great Lake overlaps with the outskirts. But, yeah, that line's funny as fuck. Because that's where their original shit was. Granted, they got waffle stomped in that area. No two ways about it, but I pray to God we visit that in the future. The Great Lake. A massive lake at the south end of the city. Some call it the sea or the ocean. Also, by the way, in the PVs for Chapter 5, seeing that fucking, like, blocked or, like, sort of mutilated lake, how it's like this square is this environment and this is this, I fucking love that shit. Like, the idea that you can be sailing in, like, perfectly fine weather or whatever the fuck, next when you're in a storm, next when you go and you're, like, fucking, I don't know, going through, like, sand or some shit, like the fucking beginning of Pirates of the Caribbean 3. That shit is interesting to me. I really just love the concept of that. Granted, I want to find out why it's so fucked up beyond recognition, but that could come later. The Great Lake isn't just one big pool of water. It's divided by straight lines into several smaller sections, all of which have unique colors. I've seen only a little bit of it, but it reminds me of patchwork fabric. According to Ishmael, it looks like the Great Lake's chock full of treacherous and natural disasters and monsters. Even if she's right that it might be too early for us to go into the Great Lake, it's not like we've got much say in the matter. Limbus Company ordered us to go in that direction, so we gotta. I guess that decision's what got us into this mess. I'm still not sure what I'm supposed to do. Montage the whale? There's not much you really can do, homie. I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you. In a way, I guess we should consider ourselves lucky. Nothing disastrous has happened yet. Maybe we're still in the coastal area Ishmael mentioned. They think the motherfucker's gonna get messed up. Yeah, the motherfucker's gonna die. The motherfucker's gonna die. Monsters. Oh, they're gonna be seeing a lot of those. I thought all monsters were either abnormalities or distortions, but it seems like the opposite is true. All abnormalities are monsters, but not all monsters are abnormalities, I think. Damn. Dante's curing themselves from their racist arc. They say that trash crabs are the prime example of monsters that aren't abnormalities. Though they're not so prevalent, I think that sometimes that they're sometimes mentioned in creepy tales or legends of the city. Apparently the outskirts and the Great Lake are both brimming with these monsters. Still, this means there are monsters within and without the city. I'm not sure how I categorize them yet. The library. Ooh, I'm intrigued. I've only heard about it mentioned in passing, but I don't suppose that they were just talking about any old library. Now, it's called the library, where genocides were committed, where librarians were fucking drunk most of the time, and where, above all else, we had a million-year-old machine throw a motherfucking temper tantrum. Still the best waifu Project Moon has made, though. Fixers from the Molar Boat Works mentioned it. They said that they went in there, something awful happened, and they returned from a book? I don't know enough about the city to connect those dots or make any meaningful guesses from them. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, dog. You don't need to connect any dots. What they said is precisely what happened. They went in there, thought they were some shit, got clapped, got shelved. Bit later down the line, we fought a fucking maniac. Then there was some light. We fought a maniac again. Then people weren't books anymore. Yeah, it's pretty simple. So I'll just write down what I heard and put a pin in it for now. Walpurgis Night. Yeah, that's definitely how you pronounce that. It seems to be a special period where we can extract identities and ego that we normally can't. Though the timeline and the worlds we can access are expanded during this period, it's not like we'll be extracting random identities and ego from all over the place. Foss explained that whoever we end up with extracting during this period will be relevant to all of us. Relevant to Limbus Company's current state in some way. Relevant to all of us. Okay, that's really interesting then. Because like, if in the future we get like a Gebra focused identity, which I would hope we do, I know like some people, especially Dino Dave, I know some people really do not want to see that happen. Me personally, I'm down with it as long as it's done in like a tasteful way, I suppose. I don't know. I feel as though if it were to just be done to where it's like, oh, get the fucking red miss identity that just released now, like get it, you're rolling the gun. Then no, but I feel as though like, if we could tie it to some interesting lore implications, then I would be completely fine with it, and it would just be hype as hell. Granted, the main problem that would come with that is I don't think I would want to use any other identity if we get one tied to library for one of the characters that I think are based, you know? It's like, if we were to ever get Jan Sinclair, I don't think I would use any other Sinclair identity. Even if we get Jan Sinclair as like a fucking 2-star, which I swear to God if that happens, I'm gonna fucking lose it. But even if we get it as a 2-star, I can't see myself using any other identity just because that shit would be amazing. It would be greatly amazing. I actually cannot understate that, like Project Moon, bro, please. I will roll on that shit with nothing but paid currency, just please do it. I will throw money at the screen, I don't give a damn. Walpurgis Night seems to arrive once in a while. As usual, Foss doesn't tell me everything, but at least I could tell that the next Walpurgis Night will be different from this one. So basically, she told you nothing. Like bro. She just said, they'll be different. Shut the fuck up. And that's all you have to hold. And you just accepted that shit. A grin and all. But alright, that looks to be it for the Dante's notes. Yep, I'm pretty sure I read through some of these more than once, but it is what it is. I know some of them I didn't read in the prior video as they got released afterwards, which is probably going to be the case for this one as well, so we'll see for the next Dante's notes what I plan to do. But this shit's been pretty chill. I like having these notes in the game just because they're pretty damn interesting to read through, and it's just good for anyone who's like getting back into the game to be like, oh, okay, hold up, like a couple concepts that need to be refreshed on. So yeah, Dante's notes cooks, and I don't know, very much else to really add. Except for the fact that we need like a Jan Sinclair identity and an Angela Foss identity. If they actually give us an Angela Foss identity, bro, I'm never using anyone the fuck else. At that point, any like gacha related to Foss, they shouldn't even bother putting that in the game if they ever give us Angela Foss. Like that development time could be used to like anything better. Legitimately. Like, they could spend that development time like deleting aspects of the game, and that would be a more efficient use than giving us a new Foss identity. Because I can guarantee you nobody will roll for anything else after giving us Angela Foss. I still want to see that shit though, I'm not even gonna cap in the slightest.